Hey guys, welcome to Teen Vogue Live. This is digital entertainment editor Ella Cerrone, and I am here with...
What's my name? Oh, Harry Shum Jr., yes.
And we're going to be talking about a whole host of things, but most importantly, your new show, Single by 30, is out on YouTube Red today.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really exciting, and the first episode comes out today, and people can go watch it right now. And it's been a long time coming. We filmed this a while ago, so I'm glad that people are able to watch it.
Yeah, how long ago did you guys start working on this?
Last week. I'm just kidding. No, we worked on this in like May or April, which is not that long, but in times now it feels like a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Times now it feels like a long time. Time.
So, what can you tell us about the show? It's about two friends who create a pact, if you will, that if they are still single by 30, hence the title, clever, they will marry each other.
Yeah, it's two best friends that, they all make a pact for different reasons. They both make a pact for different reasons, and when they do it, it's like a very friendly, just kind of helping each other to have a backup. And then 12 years go by where they haven't seen each other and really live separate, different lives. And then when they reunite, they need that extra kind of push or like that backup, because they're at that age where they're hitting 30, they don't know what they want to do with their lives, and also the pressure of society always saying like, well, why aren't you getting married at this time? So it really goes into dives deep into kind of their relationship when they reunite.
Yeah, for sure. And they make the pact at 18. But again, guys, if you are still single by 30, by no means
No.
do you have to marry somebody just because society tells you to. Nobody knows what they're doing with their lives.
No one knows, and no one knows, and that's what's with this pact that they make. It's like a motivation to live every moment, and not waste any second of like just sitting by, and really take chances, and that's where it starts, and you never know what happens if you do make kind of like this pact that really pushes you to just kind of seize the moment, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you got married last year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does the concept of the pact mean to you as somebody who clearly did not need one of those?
Surprisingly, I did, when I was in high school, one of my friends, we did make a friendly pact, but we never thought that anything would come of it. And what's really fun to hear is a lot of people have these pacts, and really try and go through with it. And for me, I had a different situation. I met my wife almost 7 years ago, or 7-8 years ago, and then it became I didn't have to go through the whole dating and dating apps, which fascinates me because it's a whole different world right now. And I get to see it through my friends' eyes, and hearing the stories are the best. Hearing the stories, I'm kind of glad that I don't have to go through that, but it's also very entertaining. But I don't think it's any different than stories that you would hear people who met someone at a bar, except for your thumb is doing a lot of the work though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the great things about the show too is that there are all those flashbacks, and so it exists both in the real time, but then also in past times.
Yeah.
So what was the experience like was it just a lot of makeup, or did you also have to psychologically get ready to go to a flashback?
No, and the way we shot the show, we had a very limited time to shoot it. So, the flashbacks, sometimes we had to shoot them all at once, because like the hair and makeup, I had to my hair was bleached, and I had the braces, and I also had to get an innocent. You're a lot when you're that age, you're very innocent. You don't know. You haven't been through that much, so the lack of experience kind of you can see in your body language and the way you talk about things. So that is what we had to go head towards when we were shooting those flashbacks. But at the end of the day too, it's just fun for the show to kind of see what these two characters were like, and where their mind frame was at during that time as opposed to now when they're 30, and how much has changed. So you see that big contrast of like, you made this pact when you're 30, how different is it if you keep continuing this when you're 30, and is it kind of for the same reasons or not? And that's what we explore.
Yeah, for sure. And I think another thing that I really, really love about the show is that it's just so inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the top down, the production company, the creators, everything is just so inclusive in a way that Hollywood really isn't, and I think YouTube especially has kind of latched onto that in a time that's so necessary. So how was that as an actor to be on a set that's far more inclusive than the standard Hollywood set?
It's incredible. I mean, YouTube started from that. It started from just users putting videos up. I remember when I first saw YouTube, I was like, I was teaching dance, and I was like, oh my god, I see these people in Japan or someone like teaching dance. Like I could see it right away, and then you started seeing creators creating like stories and writing scripts, and you know, Wong Fu Productions, which is a collective of trio, but the two directors are Wes and Phil, and they started making this 10 years ago. They've been making YouTube videos, and you know, before, when it was looked at as a hobby, is now a full-on career, and you know, they were able to use that experience of 10 years of making YouTube videos into still making a kind of like a YouTube series at this end on a much elevated platform. And for me as an actor, it's been incredible because you get to see these guys have a really clear voice and a clear path of where they want to take the story. And you know, it's really cool to be on the screen and really help them kind of tell the story and take it on to a level of beyond just like a 10-minute story, you know, and expand it to basically almost like 4 hours of television, which is great.
Right, so there's 4 episodes first. And speaking of, we actually have a reader question that actually kind of ties into this, but what, Julia asks, what do you have in common with your character?
I think for, you know, when I was younger, I had a lot of the same mentality as Peter, where, you know, it wasn't easy for me to step out of my comfort zone. You know, Peter has been taught by whether his parents or the friends that he had that you do this a certain way, and then you go from point A to point B, and that's your life. You know, you go to school, you get a job, get married, and you have kids, and you do it in that order. You know, in my mind, that's kind of what it was. And then, you know, as I got older, it's like you don't have to follow that form and follow the idea of what everyone kind of set for you. So, you know, I learned that over time. And Peter in this series starts to realize that, and you know, Joanna really helps him kind of get out of his comfort zone, out of his shell. And I share those same kind of qualities, and it really has helped me, especially when like even meeting my wife, to kind of see the other side of things. I'm very like, this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm very stubborn, and I think it's truly important to have that other person to be able to get you out of your daily life kind of decisions, and really get outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's also super important because, you know, the life of an actor is hardly a comfort zone.
yeah, right. You got to get uncomfortable. You know, I think that's, at the end of the day, that's like athletes, singers. Like if you're always comfortable, then you're just never going to grow. And meeting new people, I think, is definitely one of them. And I think even dating is incredibly important to be able to get yourself out there so you know what you like and don't like.
Kids, get yourself out there. Your parents were right.
But slowly. Take it slow.
Simone wants to know what the most exciting scene you did in Single by 30 is.
The most exciting scene, you know, there were so many. What I loved is there's a bar scene that we did, and watching, and when we were we have a great cast. It's, you know, it's myself, Kina Granis, who's incredible in the series, and we have Manon Matthews, who's known from her Vines, and also Erica Choa, who's a big YouTube star, and Hillary Matthews, great improv actresses. So when we had us all together in the bar scene, it was so much fun because the improv scenes that we'd have, and to hear specifically everyone kind of do their thing, you know, because everyone has a different skill that they brought to their characters. And when specifically like Hillary Matthews, when she got to improv, you couldn't hold it together, and that was so much fun when you couldn't hold it together, and we had to do take over take just to kind of get our reactions properly, because we're making each other laugh so much. So those were the fun ones. Yeah,
for sure. And speaking of your thing, I mean, a lot of people know you as a dancer? And I know you've
no.
said that. I mean, a lot of people, like, I know you've said in the past that you're an actor who can dance. If am I getting that? Okay. Yeah. But now this is really just like a hardcore acting role, and even in Shadowhunters, you're physical. There's you know, and there's a lot of martial arts in a lot of the films, but this is your first, like, or not necessarily your first, but this is just a straight acting role.
Yeah.
Do you dance?
Maybe.
Which do you prefer? Is there not? Are they just so different?
I mean, look, if it fits within the character, I think at times, when you see a character and you could tell that, oh, they're just trying to put the dance just because I can dance, as opposed to it makes sense and it fits within the story. And I think with Peter, it's like he comes from a school, and that's something he did in high school, and people experienced these different hobbies. But I mean, I enjoy it if it makes sense, and it's the same thing is like, for me, it all goes hand in hand. It's just a matter of if we're just doing it just to kind of exploit it. But I love it, so I would never stop dancing. It's just a matter of it's for the right role.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, because Mike Shank famously had a first line like a year after.
Yeah, I can pop and lock. I know how to pop and lock.
Carolina wants to know how you would describe Peter in 3 words.
Intelligent, loyal, and stubborn.
How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Stubborn. No.
Same. Very.
Yeah, I mean, always describing myself is weird, because like you wanna show your flaws, but you also, you don't want to like batter yourself to like. it's always weird to kind of describe yourself. I feel like if it's in a third person character, it's a little easier. But I know my flaws, and I know, like, I guess, the good qualities, but I don't want to seem like I'm being boastful. There's a line when that I love, that Bruce Lee says when they ask him if he was good, and he says, if I say I'm good, then you'll say that I'm being boastful. But if I say that I'm not good, you'll know that I'm lying.
That's deep.
That's deep, right?
Aaliyah wants to know if there were any pranks on set.
Were there any pranks on set? Man. That is more of Eric Ochoa. He's the prankster. He's the guy that would try and prank us. Oh! Yeah, so basically, Wes, one of our directors, he would bring in a whole bunch of these desserts constantly, because he knew I had to stay in shape, and I would work out every single day, and he would bring boxes of desserts. Not really a full-on prank, but he would try and get me to eat them, and it was would make it hard for me, because these cupcakes that I love, that he would bring every single day, would tempt me every single day, and I couldn't hold back. So every day I was eating more cupcakes, and that means I have to work out twice as hard and double up on my workouts. So he really loved watching and seeing me in agony.
That's called sabotage, my friend.
Yeah, right.
It's fine. I am very much of the school that if you work out, you can eat whatever you want.
Right.
I'm probably lying to myself on some level, but it's cool. And you're also balancing this with Shadowhunters, because that's going back into filming too.
We're filming right now, yeah.
That must be the craziest schedule, to be doing one thing and the other.
Yeah, luckily it worked out with the scheduling, and during a hiatus is when I was able to film Single by 30 in a short period of time, and then I started up Shadowhunters and doing it. Doing it has been such a great balance, because Magnus Bane is such a big character, larger than life, and Peter's even though Magnus is still, I try and ground him and keep him in a place where it still feels like he could exist in this world, even though he's in the shadow world. But Peter is, we're dealing with relationships, and how can I balance my job and trying to get married and please my parents. And I think we definitely it's been really great for me to be able to have those two characters in my life at this point, just to feel like I'm not always in full makeup, but also I get the other side of just being very down to earth, real character that I really am able to play around with.
Yeah, for sure. Aquino, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, just
Aquino.
wants to know if there's anything in common between Peter and Magnus. Dating is the shadow world. That's the answer.
Yeah, that is. I got asked this question, you know, and I think there's stark differences, as you can see outside. But I mean, the biggest thing in common is that it's played by the same person. No, but you know, I think they're both very compassionate beings. You know, they're even their exterior might say otherwise. You know, Magnus, he's, especially with the clothes he wears, with the makeup, you know, he does hide behind. There's a couple of layers that he doesn't show, and I think that has to do with insecurities. You know, and same thing with Peter. I think Peter has a lot of insecurities. Even though he expresses certain things, there's a lot of things that he can't just outright say it, like, I like you and I want to take you out on a date, which is so hard for him, and I think a lot of people relate to that. Although Magnus is complete opposite in that sense. He will tell you, I want to take you out, when are we going out, and I won't quit until you say yes.
Wow, is that my problem, that I just need to find a Magnus?
Yeah, exactly.
Giola wants to know, I'm so sorry you guys, wants to know if you can tell us something about Shadowhunter Season 2, or are you under complete secrecy?
I am, because we have a lot of great storylines in store, and especially the first episode is such a shocker. We pick up where we left off after Season 1, you know, with Jace on the ship, and we kind of continue that journey of trying to stop Valentine. But also there's all these sub-stories which are incredibly important for all the characters, that we kind of get to see what their motivations are, as far as why, outside of stopping Valentine, and then we get to find out their backgrounds and a little bit of the backstory. Specifically for me, you know, talking about Magnus, he's so old that he's been through so much, and he's a very particular character, because you always wonder, like, why is he the way he is? Why does he act like that? You know, why does he move like that? And we get to really tap into his mind and also his tragic life. He had a very, very tragic life that, if you read the books, you know, you would know, and if you don't, then, you know, that's something we're definitely going to explore.
Have you read all of the books?
I read most of them, and the one I really dive deep into is Bane Chronicles, because it's about Magnus Bane. It's all the stories, short stories about his life, and to me that really helped me capture the story, because of him, and then, you know, whatever the plot's going to go, you know, it's something that I also want to discover, and I don't want to know every single thing, because it might take different turns, and I want to be able to have clear vision as well.
Yeah, for sure. You're basically watching it as we're watching it.
Yeah. I think that's incredibly important. You know, if it's like any other show that adapts a book. If you know every single thing and it makes a left turn, it can be very confusing. And I'm not that smart to be able to differentiate it sometimes.
Lindsay wants to know if you have any actors that you look up to.
I have a lot. The one I really look up to, I mean, the one that is not here with us anymore is, you know, like someone like Gene Kelly, because he was a triple threat singer, dancer, actor, and just an overall performer. I think we forget that, because we have all these elements that people are good at what they do, but he's just a all-around performer. And, you know, a current one is Matt Damon. I remember watching him in Chasing Amy. He had a small role, and following him and Ben Affleck, and then seeing Good Will Hunting, and then to where he's at now, it just blows my mind. And I remember watching Good Will Hunting. It was the first film that truly affected me. That wasn't Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something, you know. I was like, oh, this is what emotions are. Whoa, you know. And it was just a good coming of age story, and you know how he's played his career out is something that I would love to even follow in those footsteps and to learn from. So yeah, that's someone I definitely look up to.
Yeah, for sure. And your career has already been extremely varied. You've done a lot of TV, you've done movies, you did, oh my gosh, there's Glee, there's Crouching Tiger, there's so much. What one role, like, would you want to accomplish that you haven't yet?
I never even thought that I would be in this business or in this industry. I thought I would just be kind of owning a business, some random business that I don't even know. I didn't even know what it would be, but every role that I've taken, it almost comes about from what I've done previously. So it always comes in a way where it happens organically, and I never actually say, "Oh, I'm going to go there." And that's when I've learned to just enjoy the journey, and that's what I've been doing. And going from my dancing days to Glee, like I never thought I would do that, and Crouching Tiger, like I'm working with the masters, like Master Yuen Ping and Donnie Yen, and then all of a sudden, I'm here on Shadowhunters with this best-selling book and this wonderful character, and then now Single by 30. It's just this genuinely grounded, real show that has so much comedy and drama and so much heart, and working with someone like the best people to collaborate with. So, that question is always hard for me to answer, because I wish I could say, but I feel like I would be doing myself a disservice by saying like that's what I want, when something else might be lingering that would be right for me.
That makes sense. And I think we have time for one more question. Kiara wants to know, how does it feel to be an inspiration to so many people?
I love the names, like Kiara.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, I'm having a hard time. Like, I'll let her take that one.
Throw me under the wheel.
Yeah.
This is great.
Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry.
How does it feel to be an inspiration to so many people?
Man, it's I'm just thankful to have the opportunity to be able to just get up every day and say like I love what I do, and to be able to kind of share that joy is something that is very special to me, because there's kids out there that are striving that for to whatever they'll be doing, and whether it be an athlete or a dancer or an actor. To me, it's just finding the joy in what you do, and it took me some time, because you start worrying about different things. You start worrying about, like, am I good enough? And what is the thing for me to focus on is just getting good. I think instead of like, am I good enough? It's like, well, yeah, there's the other part that you need to get to, that the work that you need to do. So, hopefully that's how I can inspire some people to just work hard and it sounds cliche, follow your dreams, but I say enjoy the journey. That's really what it comes. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the hard work, because if you don't enjoy the hard work, then that's going to be a lot harder to get to that goal.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just such an awesome thing to remember, and the fact that you are basically living that out on all of your social platforms and everything is just really wonderful to see.
Yeah, and the fans have been great. I mean, like, the positivity is just, people always say, like, there's so much negativity, which there is on social media, but, I mean, my fans in general, they've just been so positive and so great, and I'm so thankful for them, because they make me feel good doing what I do, and I just hope to continue to entertain them.
That's perfect. And one way you can do that is by checking out Single by 30.
Yeah.
Which is available on YouTube Red starting today. And be sure to follow Harry. Where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. What's my name again? Harry Shum Jr.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Ella Cerrone, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.